Hello, people. How's that doing? Sorry for no picture and the no face. I suppose no face. Just I wanted to try something different. We tried differently today. So I want to just talk about the Golfgate scandal. So as you know about the Golfgate scandal, it's it happened a few weeks ago, and obviously I don't know what the government were taking because they just literally threw themselves out of the window and then hit themselves with a bus because it was that bad and it hit them that hard. They didn't know where they were looking from, and I don't know how they didn't take the one and never got caught. And that's something that's always I never thought of. They think that the people of Ireland will never stand up to their government and say, we won't tolerate. It's one word for the politicians, and everybody else has to obey by the laws of the land. But the politicians and the judges and the RT preceptors and the NGOs and the heads of the establishment don't have to answer to the law, don't have to answer to the people of Ireland. So that's basically what they were trying to say, and then the people of Ireland give them an uproar, so they had to do something. But yeah, this bollocks of a Supreme Court judge, like we all know the judges, along with the Gaudi, along with the a good lot of solicitors, good lot of barristers in this country, are in together and working together, and the whole lot of them are having dinner and drinks together. And as you've seen here, RT Brazetto was in with government ministers. Well, the judges and people in RT stay funded, but if right was right and wrong was wrong, RT shouldn't have walked, the RT Brazetto shouldn't have been there in the first place. Simple as that, he shouldn't have been there in the first place. And the same with the Supreme Court judge, like he's the Supreme Court judge, for God's sake, how much more does people need evidence that the guards and the judges working together? And now there was no guards there, so we won't blame the guards for it. But again, it's to do with everything. The judges and the guards work together, and the established guards, the head guards. No, but this Supreme Court judge refused to still Sean Wolf or whatever the fuck you call him. He's not much of a judge. Like, he passes the laws. The Supreme Court passes the laws of the country, and enforces the laws of the country. And if somebody broke COVID laws, they would have to go up in front of him, and he broke it himself. And again, you notice that nobody pursued Phil Hogan or anything like that. The media just kind of drifted away. They kind of just said, "Oh, we're not going to talk about Phil Hogan anymore. He broke the law. He went fucking here, there, and everywhere," and nobody fucking asked, "Is he going to be fined for using his phone?" Nobody's asked these questions. And again, this should have been asked. And who paid for the Golfgate dinner? That's the question we should ask too. And Seamus Wolf, he just doesn't want to retire because he missed his big salary. He still be a big enough salary. He still get more than anybody who worked a day in their life. Again, he sits on his chair, and dictates to the people of Ireland the laws of the country. And again, he should hang himself in shame. He should hang his head in shame for even doing this. It's wouldn't like again. I would say to everybody, go out and protest as much as you want, because again, if the government allowed to go in with 81 people into a place and only 50 people allowed into a funeral or church or anything like that, it's very, very hypocritical, especially when the government. Imagine if me, Hole, and Martin was there. Again, this Supreme Court judge has to go. But yeah, the other question is Phil Hogan going to be fined for using his phone and for breaking COVID-19 restrictions? Are the people who were there going to be followed up and fined and maybe put in prison? That not likely it's going to happen. The judges will be judges have in the back pocket of the judges, in other words. The judges and them get on very well, as we're seeing there, a Supreme Court judge in with the politicians, and now fucking judge in with the politicians. It just goes to show you the political landscape in this country. They have the judges and everybody up in the hierarchy of the government, where they shouldn't be. Judges should be independent. No, judges should not even go near TDs or senators or whatever feck. Should be completely independent. Should not even care about these clowns in government. It's clown world. We live in a democracy of clowns in our government. Because they think the people of Ireland are fools. And the only people they're fooling is the fooling the people of Ireland. But again, they're fooling themselves, because again, they fool themselves here, because they always seem to fuck themselves over somewhere. So yeah, this is what Fianna Fáil and Peter Gale have done in government. It's the only notable thing they have done. And again, with this Brexit, this is a huge video probably talking about every issue, but this Brexit. Now, the UK are trying to break international law, and they're panicking now. The government are panicking. They don't know what to do. They're thinking that, we might have to have a united Ireland, and maybe we might have a power on united Ireland, which obviously be great. But, Howell has to take a bit of extra money for the say of United Ireland, from the buyment of United Ireland. But yeah, and then they shit themselves. The government are shitting themselves because they're terrified that, this all go tits up. With the border checks and everything, they have probably will be border infrastructure, checkpoints and things like that on the border, and they know we're caught completely off guard, and it would be terrible for the people, only working people of Ireland, but it really hit Leo hard, but yeah, that's just Brexit and things like that. But again, we have to be asking this question. OT and Fortune Media and the rest of the fake news in this country, along with the NGOs and the news presenters, they won't follow up. Maybe a few of them might follow up them. But yeah, Phil Hogan, first of all, he should have been fined straight away for using his phone. That's something that should be done. But apparently they don't think it's necessary. They think he should get out for the slap in the wrist. A very senior government politician, getting a huge amount of money. Like, he won't starve, let's put it that way. He won't starve on his pension. Many people would starve and die in the streets of Ireland, but don't worry, he will get his pension. And he won't refuse to take his pension. He shouldn't get a pension. If right was right and wrong was wrong. The government should say, if this government had any kind of logic and any kind of goodness in their heart, the thing they would say, Phil, we're not giving you it. Whatever money you have in your bank, you can keep it. We're not giving you a pension. You're going to fuck off. That would be the right thing to do. But again, this government has logic. This government is great. As Danny Healy said in the door, there was 20 cases a day back a month ago, and they wouldn't open the pubs. And then when all of a sudden the 300 something pubs are like, fucking open the pubs. They're not on this planet. This government's not on this planet. The only thing they know about is money and how they can get rich off the Irish people's back pocket. So yeah, great country. It's a great country we live in. Fine Irish state. Couldn't be better. We might as well move to Jerusalem or something like that. We might as well move to Israel while we're at it. Because we might as well go in with the Israelis now when we're here or so. But yeah, thank you for watching, thank you for my rant, thank you for listening to my rant, and subscribe for more, and bye.